Hey how are you doing, girl? So today is the 7th of June, 2019. I hope you're doing well today. I'm doing very, very fine. So today I traveled to Santa Barbara and I did so many new and amazing things today. I'm so pleased with myself. I think it's really important to give yourself credit when you do things that are really beneficial to you and your long-term self-interest and maybe to others, things that you admire, strengths that you build, virtues that you build. Anytime that you act in a way that's consistent with your values, I think it's really important to just give yourself credit. And by giving yourself credit, it means giving yourself praise, giving yourself words of affirmation, letting those good feelings flow. Because I think people get too wrapped up sometimes in letting the negative feelings flow, and that's really no way to live your life, right? No way to give your life direction. Really, it's in the ideal world, in the optimal world, you'd be giving your nervous system positive reinforcement all the time about what to do next, not negative reinforcement. For goodness sake. That sounds like a recipe for a really tough life if that was the approach that you took to your own mind. Anyway, I did a lot of amazing things today. Again, I've been on this run where I've just been happy all day long, all the time. And again, I really wish I could explain it, but I don't know why it is. I'm just so happy all the time. So feeling so grateful, so good all day long. I mean, I love it when this happens. I'm not sure why it happens, when it happens, but I've really been on just this really great ride for the last 48 hours. Just it's not for me, it's not just, regular me, like where I'm neutral. This is like I'm just really enjoying things. I really don't know what it is. I have a suspicion. I do have a suspicion that it might be the very large number of fruits and vegetables I'm eating, which is normal for me. I'm a vegan. I eat frozen fruits and vegetables all the time. You know, there are times though when I eat more than my fair share of fruits and vegetables. Um, you see, there are other things I eat. For example, I mean, I can eat nuts, I can eat grains like rice and bread and wheat, and sometimes some weeks I have weeks where that's pretty much all I eat, just a lot of whole grains, which is wonderful. I love whole grains; they're very satisfying. But then there are weeks where I have more fruit and veg. I think today was one of them where I had bountiful numbers of apples and cherries and all kinds of amazing foods like asparagus. And I mean, I really sort of go crazy on the fruit and veg sometimes. And the reasons are plain. Fruit and veg just taste so darn good. Let me tell you, there are so few things that can match up to even a poorly tasting apple. you know, the fruit and veg flavors are so complex. For example, an apple is both sweet and sour, and depending on what you eat, bitter at the same time. So there's like this interplay of sweet, sour, mainly sweet and sour in an apple when you bite into it, and bitterness occasionally. But that sweet and sour also benefits from the texture, which is quite often in modern apples just this really crunchy feel. It's very appealing. I love for some reason, I don't know why, I love the crunch. I love to crunch celery. I love to crunch apples. There's so many foods, fruit and veg primarily, mostly veg, that has some kind of snap to it. Cabbage is a really good example. Even cauliflower, when eaten raw, can have a little snap to it. Broccoli can have a snap to it. For some reason, I just love that crunch. Carrots. I'm diving into carrots lately, having a lot of carrots, loving that crunch. So and the carrots are the same way. Carrots have got this really light sweetness, and it's balanced with a bitter flavor. I don't know about you, but bitter is part of my palate that I really enjoy. A big part of what I eat, sometimes what I drink during the day, is coffee. I mean, I love the bitter flavors of coffee. I love the bitter flavors in a nice astringent tea. What could I say? It's black tea is a wonderful thing. I love all kinds of black tea. I love Earl Grey. I love Constant Comment. I love Lipton decaffeinated. I mean, a lot of those are bitter flavors. But there's something about just having these complex bitter flavors that I love. I can contrast that with a lot of processed food. Processed food, I'm finding, is pretty benign. They've got nice flavors, right? But the flavors are not sophisticated. They're not complex. I don't know if you've ever really eaten some like processed food biscuits. Hey, the biscuits are great. They're really enjoyable, but they're not complex. They're sort of, maybe the flavors are caused by artificial flavors, right? These artificial flavors in processed food, they provide a nice zing, maybe initially, but then I don't know, there's not much to it. It's a enjoyable palate. A lot of candy, for example, is tastes good, nice and sweet, love it, but it's not complex. A kumquat, a kiwi fruit, a starfish, a pomegranate. These are extremely complex flavors. They run all across the spectrum. But you eat a Twinkie or a marshmallow, it's the same from beginning to end. There's no variation. It's not a challenging thing to eat. So anyway, I was getting into the sort of the deep reasons why I love fruit and veg, and part of the reasons is the variation. I'll eat an apple, right? I'll think, oh, these Gala apples, I love the Gala apples. I will bite into it, and it'll be unlike any Gala apple I've ever eaten. I'll eat a Fuji. Fuji's, even within the Fuji family, the Fuji variety, there are all kinds of different flavors within that could be found in the Fuji apples. Red Delicious, again, there's a whole spectrum of Red Delicious flavor depending on where it was grown, whether it's in the country, out of the country, in a tropical zone, in a high forest somewhere. It's sophisticated. And a sophisticated palate can pick up on these subtle undertones of flavor. It's just like wine tasting. Wine tasting is you would never go Twinkie tasting. Every Twinkie is the same flavor as the last Twinkie, and the Twinkies are the same from the beginning to the end. Whereas wine has like a start and a finish and a color, and it's just entertaining. It's interesting. Whereas processed food, it's interesting initially, perhaps, but for example, nacho cheese is a good example. Nacho cheese is nice. It's got that constant flavor, right? Wonderful. It's got that texture that's the same from beginning to end. It's just not as entertaining as fruit and veg. So anyway, I have a suspicion that perhaps my mood and how good I feel lately is somewhat dependent on the fruit and veg I've been eating in very large quantities. I hope that's it. Because I can do something about that. I can eat more fruit and veg. Anyway, let's move on to another topic. So I mentioned that I did a lot of interesting things today. And one of the interesting things today was this. So I don't know if you can see this, but these are white marks. And you might be asking, Miguel, why does Miguel have white marks on his hands and forearms? Well, it's because I've been wanting to widen out with my artistic creativity. And I found this product online, and actually I saw it for the first time at the Lucidity Festival here at the Live Oak Campground a couple of months back that I attended. And I saw people applying tribal body marks, these tribal body marks using tribal body markers, which is essentially a marker. It's got some, some makeup ink in it, and it's got some essential oil in it, and you shake it and you apply it to your skin, and it's washable. You can, if I wash this with soap, these designs with soap, they would come off in a few minutes. But what I like about this, what I like about body art and what I call body painting, particularly tribal marks of body paint, is that it's so unique and creative. And I actually also like what it signals to other people. See, you may notice that I'm not wearing any rings. I'm not wearing any bracelets. I'm not wearing a necklace of any kind. This is this traditional jewelry that men sometimes wear. I find that I don't care for what these symbols are signaling. For example, a gold chain around my neck. What does a gold chain signify or signal to people who are observers? Well, here, let me throw wealth. There we go. How about adornment? How about pride? Wealth and pride. Sure, if you're wearing gold, for example, gold chain. What else might I be signaling from that? Well, depending on the design of the necklace, I might be signaling how tough I am with a choker, say, I don't know, or how wealthy I am with lots of bundles of necklaces. Who knows what I'm signaling? Well, let me tell you, of that spectrum of signals, that communication, when people wear rings and bracelets and necklaces, a lot of those signals, that meaning was developed a long time ago, over hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And I don't know, I'm not gelling with the signaling. So, but check this out. I'm actually enjoying signaling this body paint. I wore this pretty much all day today for fun, and I thought it was a fun, creative way to express myself. And I also thought that I expressed myself artistically in a way that I don't normally do. Don't normally do. And I did so in a way that signals meanings that I want other people to pick up on. What meanings? Well, creativity, perhaps boldness. I like the masculinity. There are masculine traits that are signaled by these symbols, and I appreciate that. That's something that I can appreciate. So I like it. Not like a bracelet, say, or a necklace. Sometimes bracelets and necklace, even rings, signal feminine signals. Anyway, now I don't have anything against feminine signals. I love receiving feminine signals and getting to know about them and learning about them, and I love that. But I've been interested in signaling more masculine traits lately. I'm not sure why, but it's been on my mind lately. And so I'm actually quite pleased with what the meaning of the tribal body marks are signaling. It's also quite a neutral signal because it's so new. If I wore rings, like on which finger, my pinky finger, say, that's like I'm signaling a 40, 50-year-old message, right? It's just not, I don't know. I prefer to think of myself as a somewhat modern human, right? And I just don't want to signal 50, 60-year-old messages if I don't have to, and sort of retranslate the old message into the new culture. So I'm sensitive to context. I'm sensitive to information that I'm signaling to others. And I kind of like the signaling, you know? It's unobtrusive. A person could ignore it. I can ignore it. If I've got a piece of gold metal around my neck, it could be heavy. It could irritate my neck. This isn't heavy. It doesn't irritate my neck. It doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't affect my behavior at all. I don't have to make any adjustments. It's not like a ring where it could fall off, that it's valuable. It's like worth hundreds of dollars. This is just some marking. It's playful, right? It signals playfulness, creativity. It also might signal some kind of hidden meaning, which is mysterious. So I'm liking that. A pinky ring. I mean, what is a pinky ring signal anyway to others? I don't know. I don't care to know. I think it signals messages that to me are not optimal. Pinky ring, for goodness sake. So, and one thing I also do like about this is that I can erase this and then do something different the next day, or not. Maybe I can keep it on for a day or two or three. So there's a lot of variability in it. There's not it's not unchanging. Like I say, a ring around my finger. That is kind of, if it's a diamond ring, it's gonna, I don't know. It has a lot of connotations that this has very temporary connotations. I like that. I don't know. I like the signaling. So I also like the creativity and the artistry behind it. It makes me think. I think it makes other people wonder. And so I like it. So I've been interested in this tribal body marking lately. And for me, mostly it's just fun. It's a way to widen out. It's a way to do something different. And it's one of the things I did today that was a little bit different than I usually do. So I'm proud of myself for that. Let's see, what else did I do? I did so many amazing things today. Like I mentioned, I went to Santa Barbara and I got signed up for the solstice parade and the workshop. So I got that done. There's a hiccup related to it, a computer snag I'm running into, but I'm getting that ironed out right now. So I did go to the workshop for the Summer Solstice Festival. I do want to go visit my friends maybe tomorrow, who are going to be working out there at the workshop. I really need to talk to them about ideas for costuming. And plus, what's great about that is that this body art can help me with costuming for the parade when I walk in it. So that's another reason that I'm working on it, that I'm rocking the tribal art right now. So I did that. I worked solstice parade stuff. And I also did something else. You probably don't know this, but I don't wear sandals very often. And I just took the sandal off of my foot right there. I got some new sandals, man. I bought some Keen sandals, which I'm really happy about. I have had to. I do have a pair of sandals. Actually, I just threw them away. And the reason is because they broke, basically. The sole basically ripped off the bottom of the sandal. Why? I don't know. I guess it got old. I've had those sandals for like 15 years, and they were Teva brand. And, they were somewhat uncomfortable, and so I didn't wear them very often. But these sandals, I made sure to buy some very comfortable sandals so that I could wear them on a regular basis. And I pretty much wore them all day today. My feet feel fine. They feel just fine. I'm so glad about that. I was thinking initially about getting some sandals of the same brand that I had before. But the new sandal designs, let me tell you, see, the sandals that I had were like a design from 15 years ago. Designs in sandals have changed since then. I was thinking about getting, basically everything was on the table, right? Because there's so many different sandal designs. Anyway, I found what I think are the most comfortable. I'm glad they were Keen brand, a brand that I'm familiar with, a high quality brand. So I have a feeling that these sandals will last a long time. And I'm loving them. I'm loving them. Part of the reason I'm loving them is because they're helping to accent a part of fashion that I'm exploring lately. And specifically, it is a more casual look. So I don't know, Emily, if you know too much about me, but I kind of grew up pretty religious. I think I mentioned that once or twice in videos before. And being a religious person, I dressed pretty conservatively. I dressed in, for the most part, Dockers pants or slacks, nice shoes, nice dress shirt, a watch, and that's what I dressed in every day. That was kind of like my uniform when I was, of course, I also wore a suit on a regular basis. But over the years, as I've gotten older, I've been wanting to explore a more casual side to my personality. In fact, this longer hair, I'm wearing my hair a little bit longer, is an expression of my interest in showing a more casual self as I move through the world. And I'm really liking it. And so the sandals were a big part of that expressing a more casual self. I don't know if you know this, but I am wearing I'm rocking a shirt. Let's see. Was this I'm rocking a shirt that is essentially a camping shirt. So it is a long sleeve. It is a very sun protective shirt. I think this is like an SPF 50 shirt. It's a shirt I've owned for a long, long time. I've owned this shirt for easily over 10 years, probably 15 years, easy. And I just don't wear it very often, but I'm wearing it now because I wanted to express myself a little more in a little more relaxed, casual state. And in fact, so it goes really nice with the sandals, which are also quite casual, and the pants that I'm wearing today, which is, I've actually only worn these pants once or twice before. And these pants are what are called joggers. And I don't know if you're familiar at all with men's style. A jogger is a very casual pant. Jogger is more casual than jeans. Yeah, more casual than even jeans. Jeans are pretty casual. And so I'm really excited about jogger pants, and I'm going to start wearing jogger pants on a more regular basis. So it's this garb that I'm wearing, this wardrobe that I'm developing is a more casual wardrobe. In fact, when I was with your mom, Sheila, when I was married to her, that was one of her comments to me, in no uncertain terms, I think, was that I dressed too formally. And I dressed too formally all the time. There was very little variation. For example, I didn't wear shorts very often. even though I came from a climate like Albuquerque, New Mexico, where it was quite dry and wearing shorts on a regular basis would be perfectly fine, I just didn't do it. It just wasn't a part of my personality. It just wasn't a part of my culture. But now I've actually gotten a lot of different pairs of shorts, and I'm rotating through them and wearing them on a regular basis, and I'm really proud of that. I know it's kind of funny, but this California casual is something that I want to develop, and I want to become, from a fashion standpoint, I want to become changed as a result, and I think I'm doing a really good job of it. So I got sandals, I'm wearing joggers, I'm wearing a much more casual. I felt really good about the way I look today. From a fashion standpoint, a lot of ground that I'm crossing right now, and so I'm really glad about it. Let's see what else happened today. Oh, I went to REI. That's where I picked up the Keen sandals, and I picked up some games. Now, I've always been into games, playing games, gamifying life, and things like that. Gaming is important to me, not video gaming, although it used to be important, but just playing any kind of games. In fact, I got a miniature cornhole set, which is something that I can take in my car all the time, and I can play cornhole. I mean, come on, that's awesome. I also got a small kite that's made of ripstop nylon and very simple to assemble. And to me, that's just amazing. I've been wanting to get a kite and carry a kite along with me for a long time. I think I actually did put a kite in my car, but it broke. I'm pretty sure it kind of broke. That's the thing about kites today. You buy a kite and the kite just falls apart. And if you're lucky, it falls apart while you're using it. So anyway, I got what I think is a high quality kite that I'll be able to fly when the wind is blowing. A lot of these ideas and planning have to do with this general outline for this summer I have, which is water. I want water to be a major theme of my summertime. And I don't know what themes you're planning on, Emily. Maybe it's travel, maybe it's reading, maybe it's, I don't know, watching Game of Thrones or whatever it is you watch. But for me, this summer is going to be all about water. And I'm actually quite proud. This week has been a really fantastic week as it relates to water. For example, last weekend, I went to the Folk and Soak, which was essentially hot tubbing, and went to the Mineral Springs in Paso Robles there, and did that last weekend. This weekend, I put on my wetsuit and I went swimming in Santa Barbara in the ocean. I did that just a few hours ago. So I'm really proud of myself for having done that. Got myself into the ocean and in a wetsuit. I have not worn that wetsuit in a good 2 or 3 years. So that's great. So I'm making a lot of progress there. So that was pretty new activity. So I've been just doing all kinds of novel activity lately. Going to the water. In fact, speaking of water, I've got big plans for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to Six Flags Hurricane Harbor, and I'm going to just splash and enjoy the water there. Really looking forward to going to Six Flags Hurricane Harbor. I really want to go with you one of these days. That is important to me. I don't know when you're going to allow me to take you, but I think it would be fun to go do a water park together. So I have got the idea that I want to get a good night's rest tonight so that I can hit the water park refreshed tomorrow and spend all day out there and just enjoy the water. it's going to be like 90 degrees out there in Valencia, California. So that's wonderful. Gonna definitely have to take my sunscreen, my copper tone clear sunscreen, which is amazing. That's amazing stuff. So I'm just really happy that basically I'm going to be in the water for 3 days this week in my summer of water. So I really do have plans for spending time in water every single week this summer. It's going to be a major thrust of my summer. Now, of course, I'm not vacationing at all. I got to work just like everybody else works, 40-hour weeks. And I'll be taking some vacation this summer. But for the most part, even without vacation, I want to make sure that I hit the beach or the hot tubs or the mineral springs, or I want to be sure that I start hitting the pools, on a very regular basis. This is a serious intrinsic motivation I have to get in the water all the time. And I might just, now that I think about it, I was thinking about just keeping my wetsuit in my car, in my minivan, in case I ever want to just head on out to the ocean. So that's cool. And I may even, for the first time, if I drive past a lake, I might just put my wetsuit on and swim in a lake. I know. I've actually never done that before. I've never swum in a lake with a wetsuit on. Never have done it. You'd think that I would have done it before, but I haven't. Usually when I'm swimming in lakes, I'm swimming just in my swim trunks. So again, that would be a novel thing to do. So I'm looking forward to doing something like that soon too. So yeah, this I am no kidding going to make this the summer of water somehow. Every weekend, water, water, water. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe maybe some weekends it'll just be taking a long shower, or even taking a bath. I usually don't take baths. So there's a lot of opportunity this summer, and I hope to learn a lot about the water, various water that we have here. Thankfully it's been raining a lot, so a lot of these lakes are like 100% full, 90% full, 80% full. I know Cachuma Lake is 80% full right now, and that's wonderful. There's been a lot of water this year coming from the sky. And who knows, maybe that was part of what inspired me to make this the summer of water. But it's not going to be just a summer of water. It's going to be a summer where I'm in water. That's right. So I'm looking forward to learning a lot of things. I want to possibly learn how to surf. I think I want to learn how to stand up paddleboard. I haven't been sit on top canoeing in a long time. There's just so many things to do in and around water, and I don't know. It's just a goal. It's just something I'm thinking about. People have got to have these personal goals. And what's great is that it's probably not going to cost me very much money, because I do live only about 10 miles from the ocean, and I am fairly close to public swimming pools that I have memberships to. So that's good. It shouldn't be too hard to make this the summer of water. So, oh boy. Today was kind of a long day today. I did travel to Santa Barbara and then travel back. I did something else novel today. There's so much novel behavior today. Besides getting new sandals and going into the ocean with my wetsuit, I also did some dancing using my Anker boombox, which is a portable Bluetooth speaker. I hadn't done that before. I usually don't pull out my portable Bluetooth speaker very often. It's continuously charging. But anyway, I got out that portable Bluetooth speaker and started dancing a little bit. So, to some awesome music, I was grooving. I'm a big fan of ecstatic dance, and I'm finding that sometimes I feel a little bit locked into only dancing in ecstatic dance venues. And I think that's actually somewhat limiting. I'm also only dancing to other DJs' music usually, and I want to dance to my own music. I want to dance to music that I think is amazing. My own choice. I want to be more choiceful about the music I dance to. I think I might enjoy dance even more than I do if I'm continuously dancing to music that I choose. So, anyway, I'm pretty excited about that. Dancing to my own music, being my own ecstatic dance DJ. I know. So I'm really just feeling inspired lately with life, doing all kinds of things I haven't done before. Even today, it's just been moment after moment of novelty, making progress, making it happen. Yeah, my life's pretty amazing right now. In fact, I was thinking, my life is so amazing, so nonstop amazing all the time with huge levels of novelty that is meaningful to me, right? It's not just, there's novelty that's interesting to a lot of other people, but isn't interesting to me, or isn't that interesting to me. I'd love to travel, but for me, travel is not as novel as I'd like it to be. Yeah. For me, I much prefer having an enjoyable conversation with a stranger. For me, that's enjoyment. So, there's like the novelty of being in another place all around on a different part of the earth. And then there's a novelty of just striking up a conversation with a stranger. Turns out I like conversing with strangers as a novel activity more than traveling. Although I do love travel. Travel's great. Travel's wonderful. I think in our culture, travel has um, there's an outsized positive opinion of travel. Let me tell you something about human civilization. You probably already know this, but in cultures, there are outsized positive views about activities that are just humdrum. Here's an example. Marriage. Outside positive interpretations of marriage for some reason. And being in a relationship. Let me tell you, singleness rocks. I don't think I've been as happy ever as a married person as I am continuously as a single person. Why has culture been so matrimonial focused? There's like the relationship industrial complex in our society. And you cannot escape it. And I'm not sure why it's so critically important that everybody continuously be pursuing a relationship. Let me tell you, singleness rocks. I don't know. Other things that our culture sort of emphasizes, exaggerates the benefit of having lots of money. Our culture, for some reason, worships having lots of money. I don't get it. I don't see what there is to get. I don't know. mysterious. And then what else? Our culture emphasizes. Oh, I know. Our culture emphasizes family and children, particularly having children. No, I love having you, and you've been a big and important part of my life, and I cherish it and value it. That is me being your father and you being my child, and I wouldn't take it back for anything. But I think that our culture sort of overemphasizes just how wonderful the experience is. As you know, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. Families are a mixed bag. I know. I know. So, how else? What other things does our culture sort of overemphasize the benefit of? Video games. Like, I love video games just like anyone else. But there's something about it. I don't know. Our culture just worships video games. Oh, here's another thing our culture worships: drug taking. I am not into drug taking. You know that for sure. 100% separate from drug taking. I'm high on life. That's for sure. 100%. But our culture seems to idolize and worship and be focused on and somehow emphasize the benefits of drug taking, which is just weird. I think really what people are more interested in is sort of enlightenment and personal development, and they think that drug taking is an avenue to that. And I admit there's probably some small self-development aspect to drug taking. But it's a minor aspect, at least in my opinion. Easily ignorable. There are ways to have amazing experiences completely sober. and for some reason our culture just is not recognizing it, does not really recognize it. It's bizarre. So our culture has a lot of weird attributes, overemphasizing the positive things. Television is another example. Let me tell you, TV is fun. It's enjoyable. It's great entertainment for about 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you're lucky. Perhaps, maybe, if it's a good movie, maybe 2 hours. Maybe. But that's a real stretch. Anything more than that? Come on. That's a lot. It's a loser. It's a loser, man. Seriously. I don't know why TV is such a big deal. I don't know why TV is considered such a big deal in our culture. I haven't actually owned a TV in over 8 years, probably 9, maybe going on 10 years. Why? They're unnecessary. I don't see what the big deal is. It's just a big time sink, a waste of time and energy. So I'm not a really big fan of TV. So I don't know, man. Our culture is pretty odd sometimes. And there are a lot more things that our culture emphasizes as being amazingly good, but really is either mediocre or pretty darn bad. I guess people have to celebrate something, right? And so they choose things like, who knows, like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. As you can tell, I'm beginning to yawn here. Like I mentioned, I kind of had a long day today, and it's getting a little bit late. But I had an amazing day today. Here's another thing that I went to another grocery store that I hadn't gone to in a long, actually never been to. I went to this place called, was it Grocery Outlet or something? I forget what it was. And for dinner, I bought a bag of apples, a 3-pound bag of apples for $3. Let me tell you, that was a deal. And I ate dinner, which tended to be mostly apples, but I also got some carrots and I got this really nice kale smoothie. And I loved it. It was a wonderment. I loved the carrots. I loved the kale smoothie. I loved the apples. I felt satisfied and full at the end of the meal. One of the best meals I've ever had. And the apples weren't that great. Oh, man. So, like I said, I'm really loving life lately. And I really hope that it doesn't stop. It's kind of funny when I'm as happy as I've been for the last 48 hours, drug free, by the way. And, when I'm just enjoying every moment of what's going on around me all day long, I ask myself, can this even last? Can this last? And so far it's lasted. I don't know. It's called, excuse me. It's called Happy No Matter What. And I love when it happens, but sometimes I can't predict when it happens or how long it happens. But anyway, I'm sort of experiencing that right now. So I'm going to wrap things up just in about 4 minutes, because I am getting quite tired and I want to go to bed so that I can wake up tomorrow bright and early, ready to hit the amusement park. So I hope you had a very wonderful day, a day free from school. This is a Friday free from school. You haven't had one of those in a long, long time. I imagine it must feel pretty great to be out of high school now, out of your freshman year. And that's wonderful. I want you to know that I'm super proud of you. I super recognize the accomplishment of finishing your freshman year of high school. I remember when you got out of middle school and you were feeling like it was pretty miserable, and you wanted the new horizons, the new frontiers that was high school. And you got your wish, girl. You got your dream. Congratulations. Wow. I mean, it's an amazing accomplishment. And I have a feeling that you really worked hard to thrive and to accomplish all that you sought to accomplish in your classes. I have a feeling that you tried really hard to do well on exams and tests, that you were super duper focused. And I just want to commend you for all that hard work and energy. And I hope that effort has brought you what the rewards that you want, that you've wanted. And I hope that you are sort of experiencing a whole new level of maturity, a level of maturity that you have not experienced before. I have a feeling that your brain is beginning to mature now and it's really coming into its own. I'm sure your personality is solidifying and becoming more and more solid. And, I can imagine that, your mind is just bursting at the seams with energy and creativity and awe about the world and all you're learning. I mean, what an amazing time to be alive. Truly an amazing time to be alive. I remember my high school years and my freshman year in particular. Those memories will be with you for a long, long time, maybe even forever. And I'm so glad that at least I was a small part of those memories. And I just want to, I don't know, I just want to recognize that. I want to be present to the fact that you completed your freshman year of high school. I mean, that's wonderful. Truly, it's a wonderful thing. On a scale from 1 to 10, when it comes to significance, I would call finishing your freshman year of high school a 10. Yeah, it's one of the most amazing things you'll ever do in your life. You've had just one of the most amazing years that you will ever have. And man, it's awesome. Yeah. So with that message, I'm going to wrap up this our conversation, and I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful rest of the night tonight, wonderful weekend, and I hope you are having fun this weekend. as much or even more fun than me. Truly. If you can have even half as much fun as me, you'll get my praise. And you'll get my sympathy if you are if you're not half as happy as me. I'm so sorry. It's not my fault. At least I don't think it is. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day today and a wonderful night. And I want you to know that I love you. I care about you. I cherish our relationship together as father-daughter. And I want the best for you. And I'm continually thinking of ways to enhance your well-being, enhance your joy, and the wonderment of you being alive right now. And I'm welcome to receive any hints from you about what I could be doing better. Absolutely. Totally open to hearing that. Would love to hear constructive criticism on that subject. Anyway, girl, I'll talk to you later. I love you. Bye-bye.